Have you ever felt anger rise within you because of someone's words? Perhaps a friend spoke harshly, a supervisor raised their voice, or someone's silence felt like a slight that shifted your entire mood. Yet here lies a profound truth: no one can make you angry unless you allow it. There was once a man who felt anger toward nearly everyone and everything. But a single encounter transformed his life forever. This is his story, and perhaps it resonates with yours. In a tranquil village nestled near the mountains lived a man named Rahim. He was known throughout the community for one defining trait: his temper. If his wife, Amina, forgot to add salt to a meal, he would raise his voice. If a neighbor's cow strayed into his field, he would shout. Even the sound of children playing joyfully outside could provoke him to yell, "Can you not be quiet for just a moment?" He was convinced the world was at fault, never himself. Amina would often speak to him gently. "Rahim, why do you let such small things stir so much anger within you?" He would retort, "Because people should know how to behave. If they do not show respect, how can I possibly remain calm?" It never occurred to him that he was handing over his inner peace, allowing others to dictate his emotions. One summer morning, a monk arrived in the village. Dressed in simple white robes, his face was as calm as still water. He settled under the ancient banyan tree near the well. The villagers murmured among themselves, "He speaks very little, yet his words have a way of touching the soul." "Rahim," Amina suggested one afternoon, "go and speak with the monk. Perhaps he can offer you guidance." Rahim scoffed. "What could a monk possibly teach me? He does not have to deal with the fools I face every day." But the very next day, as Rahim worked in his field, a neighbor's son accidentally broke one of his tools. Rahim's control shattered. He shouted with such ferocity that birds scattered from the trees. The frightened boy ran home in tears. That evening, Rahim sat alone, a burning heaviness still in his chest. "Why do I always feel worse after I lose my temper?" he whispered to the empty air. That night, sleep eluded him. Just before dawn, he made his way to the banyan tree. The monk sat in serene silence, eyes closed, listening to the morning bird song. Rahim stood awkwardly, uncertain how to begin. Finally, he spoke. "Monk, I am weary. People constantly provoke me, and I cannot seem to master my own reactions." The monk opened his eyes and offered a gentle smile. "Sit with me, my friend." He then asked, "When anger takes hold of you, how long does it last?" Rahim considered this. "Sometimes an hour, sometimes an entire day." "And when the anger finally fades, how do you feel then?" Rahim sighed. "Empty. Sad. Tired." The monk nodded. "Precisely. Anger burns the one who holds onto it, not the one it is aimed toward." He picked up a cup of water. "This water is calm and clear. But if I shake it," he said, swirling the cup, "the surface becomes disturbed, and you cannot see a true reflection. The same happens with your mind. When it is agitated, you cannot see things clearly." Rahim frowned. "So, should I simply remain silent when people insult me?" The monk's smile deepened. "No. You must learn to respond, not merely react. There is a vast difference. If someone throws dirt at you, you can either try to catch it, or you can step aside. The choice is always yours." The following morning, the monk asked Rahim to bring a pot of water and a handful of sand. Rahim obliged. "Now, boil the water," instructed the monk. As the water bubbled furiously, the monk asked, "Can you touch it now?" "Of course not," said Rahim. "It is scalding hot." "That is anger," said the monk. "When your emotions boil, you cannot touch peace." He then sprinkled a spoonful of sand into the pot. "The sand clouds the water. This is your mind when you react." He carefully poured the water into a bowl. They watched as, gradually, The sand settled to the bottom and the water became clear once more. "This," said the monk, "is what happens when you pause and do not react. Your mind settles. Clarity returns." Rahim sat in silence, a deep understanding dawning on him. All these years, he had been the one boiling his own water? In the days that followed, Rahim practiced maintaining his calm. When irritation arose, he would take a deep breath and recall the monk's words, "Step aside. Do not catch the dirt." It was difficult at first. His old habits fought fiercely for control. One afternoon at the market, a merchant tried to cheat him. Rahim felt the familiar heat of anger surge. He clenched his jaw, ready to argue, but then he stopped. He breathed slowly and said, "I believe I will take my business to someone more honest." He turned and walked away. The merchant was left speechless. For the first time, Rahim had not engaged in conflict, and in its place, he discovered a profound sense of peace. That night, he slept soundly, like a child. True change, however, is always tested. One morning, as Rahim walked through the village, a group of young men began to mock him. "Look! The angry man has turned into a saint," they jeered. Rahim felt the old fury begin to rise. His fists tightened. His mind urged him, "Show them who you are." But then, as if carried on the breeze, he heard the monk's voice in his memory, "When you react, you surrender your power." Rahim halted. He turned, offered a small smile, and said, "You are right. I used to be quick to anger, but now I am learning a better way." His composure disarmed them. One of the young men asked, bewildered, "How can you stay so calm when we insult you?" Rahim replied, "When someone offers you poison, you are not obliged to drink it." The group fell into a thoughtful silence. Rahim continued on his way, peace steady in his heart. Weeks passed. Amina noticed the transformation. He no longer shouted at the children. He smiled more readily. Even when things went awry, he maintained a steady calm. One morning, Rahim returned to the banyan tree. He bowed respectfully. "Master, I have learned something invaluable. People did not make me angry. It was my own mind that did. Now I see that I can choose peace over pain." The monk smiled warmly. "You have learned well, Rahim. Life will always present tests, but each time you choose calm, you grow stronger within." "Will people ever stop testing me?" Rahim asked. The monk gave a soft laugh. "When the storm sees that you no longer run from it, it eventually stops chasing you." Years later, Rahim had become known as the calmest man in the village. When others were distressed, they sought his counsel. His advice was always the same: peace is not found in the silence around you, but in the silence within you. One day, a young boy approached him. "Uncle Rahim, don't people still try to make you angry?" Rahim smiled. "Sometimes they do. But if you choose not to react, their power vanishes. You cannot control the wind, but you can learn to set your sails." He gazed toward the enduring mountains and added, "When I stopped reacting, I truly began to live." We cannot prevent people from speaking hurtful words. We cannot stop challenges from arising. But we can refuse to grant them the power to rob us of our inner peace. Every reaction is a choice. Every moment of calm is an act of strength. The one who masters their response masters their life. So, the next time someone seeks to disturb your peace, you can simply smile and whisper to yourself, "I will not catch the dirt." You may not control the world, but you always hold the power to control your reaction to it. True strength is not in shouting back, it is in remaining peaceful when everything around you tries